What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost, and there are no compromises you can make with the cancel culture mob, with the woke mob. They want you to bend the knee and echo all of their thoughts, not challenge them in any way. They want you to be lockstep with the echo chamber. There are no half measures. There are no, well, I'm sorry I said this, buts. That doesn't work. Once you bend the knee, the slightest amount, there is now blood in the water, and these people will continue to come after you over and over again. One of the first things they came after him with was misinformation, even though if anyone has done absolutely any digging on this or any listening to what he's talking about, the idea that Joe Rogan is the one pushing misinformation is absolutely laughable. That didn't stick. That didn't work. So what came next? Oh, well, Joe Rogan's a racist because he used the N-word over the past 2 decades. And of course, when you look at each and every instance in context, he's either talking specifically about a quote that someone said. He's talking specifically about a song lyric that someone said. He's having a discussion with a black person about that word specifically. None of that matters that he didn't use it in a derogatory or malicious format at all. Context does not matter to the cancel culture mob. So now Joe Rogan has apologized, and Joe Rogan has now taken down 70 more episodes. Now 100 episodes are missing from Spotify, and that is still not enough for these people. That led to the Spotify CEO apologizing to his employees. I'm so sorry that you were hurt by what Joe Rogan said. Apologies do not matter. The 20-somethings with pronouns in their bios that work for Spotify, that will not satisfy them. But now someone else has joined the fray and is asking for Joe Rogan to leave Spotify and go somewhere else where he won't be censored. Well, at least he won't be censored as much, and that's Rumble. Breaking. Rumble offers Joe Rogan $100 million, and that is a lot of money for Rumble to offer to Joe Rogan, and we're going to get into that statement, but first I want to look at Spotify and what Spotify has said. Now, Spotify stands by Joe Rogan after N-word controversy. Canceling voices is a slippery slope. Spotify CEO Daniel Ek released a statement on Sunday announcing the company would stand by podcast host Joe Rogan following an N-word controversy that Rogan apologized for late last week. But I do think it's important to note the way he's phrasing it, the way he's apologizing to Spotify employees. This is not sustainable because this is not enough. It's not enough what he's offering to do. It's not enough because they won't be okay with this until Joe Rogan is completely and totally canceled. That's what the people at Spotify want. Bottom line, they don't care that he apologized. They don't want him on the platform. And truly, it's pitiful when you think about it. These are people that work there. Would you imagine that of all the millions of people on Spotify, do they agree with every single person on there? Probably not. Likely not. But because Joe Rogan has a big audience, they don't want him to speak about anything that they don't agree with. And that's absolute garbage. Let's read this statement really quick. While I strongly condemn what Joe said, I agree with his decision to remove past episodes from our platform. And they're saying it's his decision to remove those 100+ episodes from Spotify's platform. That's interesting. And I want to make one point very clear. I do not believe silencing Joe is the answer. We should have clear lines about content and take action when they're crossed, but canceling voices is a slippery slope. Looking at the issue more broadly, it's critical thinking and open debate that powers real and necessary progress. I agree. Unfortunately, the people that work for you don't agree with that. Another criticism I continue to hear, it's not just about Joe Rogan. It comes down to our direct relationship. I outlined that we are not a publisher, but perception due to our exclusive license implies otherwise. So I've been wrestling with how this perception squares with our values. If we must believe in having an open platform, then we must also believe in elevating all types of creators, including those from underrepresented communities and diversity of backgrounds. So we're doing a great deal of work in this area. I'm committing an incremental investment of $100 million for the licensing, development, and marketing of music, artists, and songwriters, and audio content from historically marginalized groups. What does that even mean? Are you saying you're going to spend some of your money to get more black people onto Spotify? Isn't that what you do every time any, black rapper or black musician or anything puts their stuff up on there? What are you talking about right now? But this is not enough. This will never be enough for the Spotify people. It simply won't, because once you bend the knee, once you apologize, once you give an inch, they will continue to take mile after mile after mile. And that is where Rumble is now coming in and making this big offer to Joe Rogan. Now, this is their CEO coming out, Chris Pavlovsky, with the statement. Dear Joe, we stand with you, your guests, and your legion of fans in desire for real conversation. So we'd like to offer you 100 million reasons to make the world a better place. How about you bring all your shows to Rumble, both old and new, with no censorship, for $100 million over 4 years. This is our chance to save the world. And yes, this is totally legit. Now, that's a big thing from Rumble. $100 million trying to match that Spotify offer for Joe Rogan to come over. They claim no censorship, which is interesting. And I don't really think they're being 100% truthful with this. Now, I like Rumble. I really do like Rumble. I've been on Rumble for quite some time. I have Patriot Outpost over there. I have RK Outpost over there. I have been there since November 18th of 2020. All right. It's not like I just hopped on there. It's not like I've never heard about Rumble. I've been on there for a long as time. 2020, the end of 2020, over a year. And, I like it. It's a little bit too political in general for a lot of my main channel content, but that's why I have the political channel up there. And, I think there's a lot of good things with Rumble. They are far less censorious than big tech. There's no doubt about that. But they do have rules. They're not just straight up free speech. They do have rules about what you can and cannot say. I would imagine there might actually be some of Joe Rogan's old stuff that might not align with their requirements for their content, but they're saying no censorship. So another alternative platform kind of called them out and kind of made a joke about this here. Here's Odyssey. We stand with you, your guests, and your legions of fans for real conversation. So we'd like to offer you 100 gazillion reasons to make the world a better place. This is our chance to save the world. And yes, this is totally legit, not just a marketing ploy for attention. So Odyssey taking a shot, talking a little bit about how Rumble will censor. And I'll be honest, I do think Odyssey is more pro-free speech in general than Rumble. I am also on Odyssey, got a lot of channels on Odyssey. Now, I like Odyssey. I like Rumble. That's why I'm on both those platforms. I'm also over on BitChute. But there are some people out there that do not understand the joke that Odyssey put out. People like Tim Pool. Odyssey is so petty. How stupid. And I kind of had to say something about it because this is the dude in Tim Pool who rightly held Getter's feet to the fire by claiming they were a free speech platform while not really being completely free speech. Getter and Rumble are actually very similar to each other in my opinion. They both are way more free than traditional big tech, which is a good thing. Getter is better than Twitter, especially if you have any voice that could be considered conservative at all. It's less censorious, absolutely. But they still have rules. They still have requirements, things that you cannot put up there in terms of hate speech. That's a real thing. That's what they have. Those are their rules. So for Tim Pool to kind of shit on Odyssey when they are way more free pro speech than Rumble, it is crazy to me. I like both these platforms. I'm okay with both these platforms. And I honestly think that Rumble, something like Rumble, where if you're a conservative voice, you're not going to be censored as much. That's what 95% of people are probably looking for. There's some people that don't want a totally free speech platform, and I get that. I'm not necessarily one of those people. But, Odyssey came out, poked the bear a little bit at Rumble, but I do think it's a big move. This is a big move for Rumble to do. I do think they're serious about it, but at the same time, I think they realize Joe Rogan is not going to do it. I think it's going to get them a lot of good press, and that's great. A lot of good marketing for Rumble. If Joe Rogan did make this move, it would be huge. It would be massive if he did for Rumble, absolutely. And I think a lot of his audience would follow him. I really do. Now, one of the reasons that I like Odyssey is because it's not just politics. Like, they have pop culture stuff on there. They have gaming on there. They have stuff about education on there, stuff about the universe, space stuff, things like that, right? They have a ton of different things where I think Rumble right now is a little oversaturated with just straight political content, which I don't have a problem with. I like political content. I have a channel dedicated to political content, but there's no reason for both of these platforms to not exist and for everyone to understand what the difference is between them. I think that's important as well. But the question is, will Joe Rogan make this move? I kind of doubt it. It's a big offer, $100 million, same as that Spotify deal. But we'll see what Joe Rogan continues to do. But there is no doubt there is a cancellation out there right now, an attack on Joe Rogan. If the racism thing doesn't stick, it's going to be sexism or misogyny next, or it's going to be a different group of people, anti-Semitism, whatever it is. There's no doubt that that is what Joe Rogan's looking at in the future if he doesn't bend the knee completely to the woke cancel culture mob and do exactly what they want him to do. I hope Joe Rogan stands up and stops taking this shit from them, but I really don't know what's going to happen. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.